very much, miss. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Homelessness is a real and growing social issue on the streets of Liverpool. The imagery of road sleepers on the street of Liverpool city centre has almost become accepted as part of everyday life. Should you give money to road sleepers in Liverpool? When we look at issues around homelessness in Liverpool, we ask whether it is a good idea to give real change to people on the streets. For many generous people, it has also become standard practice to give some change to those camped on the pavement next to bank or outside high street shop. But it is the right thing to do. There have always been different schools of thought on what is clearly a high emotion issue. This is a difficult question to ask ourselves whether giving out a couple of pounds to homeless people is really going to help them in the long term, or whether it is simply give us a small positive boost as we continue on with our everyday lives. Recently, the charity sent a letter for life asked people to stop giving cash to road sleepers. They believe that giving cash is a circle harm for homeless, and it is better to point people to appropriate services in the long term. These proposals are agreed by many people in Liverpool.
No money, no, because they abuse it. Give them work, that's the main thing.
Get them a job if they can, but if they can't, you should be able to help them in some way or other, because there's not loads of jobs in Liverpool, but they should be able to assist them in some sort of way.
Stephen Mann is a homelessness. I saw him many times on the street. He always lowered his head, seemed like an introvert. He don't like to talk too much, but always says thanks to those who give him food or money. He don't want to be on camera, so I can only record his words and action during the interview.
I'd say that's definitely true in a lot of the cases, because the majority of people who are on the streets are on the streets because of drink or drug problems. Now for them, all they want is money so they can go and buy the next fix. But someone who's genuinely homeless because they're down on the luck will be grateful for someone to come up and give them something to eat or maybe some clothes. So for myself, I've been homeless for 9 weeks. I served in the army, I come out the army, I broke my back and both my legs. I had no help at all. If someone comes up and gives me money, I use that for a hotel, a hostel, a Euro hostel around the corner, it's £14 a night. I use my money for that, or I buy food with it. But if someone wants to just come up and give me a sandwich and a drink, then I'm just as grateful.
Actually, Stephen is a former soldier and a royal engineer, but he's a homelessness now. He told me he lost his house because of the high rent.
Everyone's only one paycheck away from becoming homeless. I served in the army for 7 years. I've got a lot of skills. I broke my back and left me out of work. So once you can't pay the rent, the landlord isn't going to keep you there. So I end up on the streets. I've got no family or friends that can put me up. I've got one brother, he's still serving in the army. So pretty much left on the streets.
Job is important to support people's life. However, to have their own house, to have their own place to live, is the first thing that homelessness want.
A house, accommodation first, because a job will follow. A job would be hard to keep without the accommodation. Accommodation first, and then I'll find myself work.
George is another homelessness on the street. He's living with his dog and begging for their leave. When asking how to have a house or a job, he said the same with Stephen, to have a house. And he hopes the government can give them more support and reduce their tax burden to have a house.
See, that's a hard one, because a work opportunity, if someone's going to offer someone a job who's homeless, that wouldn't really get them anywhere, because they wouldn't have nowhere to live to start. So if someone offers you a job, that sounds really good. That sounds, yes, oh yeah, I get a job. Where do you live? Where do you provide for yourself before you get this job, you know? So maybe if they scrap the bedroom tax, a lot of people that are out here today homeless wouldn't be homeless.
People all want the same thing, to help people who need it. However, the money could end up in the hand of drug traffickers who are selling drugs to homeless people. According to a charity center, many homeless people use this money for drugs, guns, violence, and abuse. The city council now is creating a new job to track homelessness across the city. The council already provides funding for 2 homeless charities organizations in the city to offer more help and accommodation for homelessness. The Mayor Joe Anderson says the city council is now looking at better ways of supporting people and giving them more training to help them find work. Road sleeper is the most visible shocking kind of homelessness. The charity says it is only the tip of the iceberg. Many more Liverpool's hidden homeless are staying in the hostels with friends because they don't have anywhere to live. A council report last year said it was very difficult to capture the scale of homelessness among single young people, but admitted it was a significant concern and has raised since 2012. To help them find work or simply give them a place to live, this is a problem worth pondering. We can't say don't give money to homelessness, but we can have a chat with people on the street and then make a judgment as to whether or not you think it is a good idea to help.